Oh, it's Rudy here in the dark. Everyone's asking like where the toilets and the latrines were in the old days. And this guy made this a couple of days ago. Jesus, mud flood, flat earth, alchemy, urine. Quite interesting. I thought it's one explanation.
And many medieval alchemists believed it could be obtained from feces and urine. In 1669, German alchemist Henning Brandt announced he had discovered the first matter after distilling over 1,300 gallons or 5,000 liters of urine.
5,000
After months
litres.
of accumulating urine, he boiled it down to a thick syrup, which he distilled into a red oil. After adding the oil back into the blackened material that remained, he heated the mixture intensely for 16 hours. Suddenly it began emitting an eerie green light. He poured it into cold water, where it solidified into a glowing white powder. Alchemists throughout Europe began experimenting with urine, convinced they had found the first matter and could use it to make the fabled philosopher's stone. Why would I make it up? Okay, let's see what I have here. The explosive chemistry of nitrogen, phosphorus, and urine.
Right, so you want to check him out and listen to his explanation. I'll leave a link if I can, if my Kindle lets me. It's not behaving. Also, I'd like to show you this. This site here, stolenhistory.org. Who really built Russian St Petersburg? Did they dig it out? This guy, Corbin Dallas, he's got some great work on here. Some really good. The photographs and just good. And there's a legend about how St Petersburg was built on 16th of May 1703. So they said. That's Martin. On May 16, 1703, while looking over sparse marshlands near the mouth of the Baltic Sea that he had taken from the Swedes, Tsar Peter the Great cut 2 strips of turf from Herz Island on the Neva River, laid them in a cross, and declared, "Let there be a city here." As he spoke, an eagle appeared overhead in an auspicious omen. Right. Or at least that's the myth of St Petersburg's founding. In reality, Peter the Great wasn't even there, and most likely neither was the eagle. He was a group of soldiers under the command of his friend General Alexander Menshikov, who began building what would become the Peter and Paul Fortress on Herz Island in May 1703. The Tsar only arrived the following month. But although untrue, this myth perfectly encapsulates the origins of St Petersburg, built on an inhospitable swamp at the cost of thousands of lives. It was brought into being through the iron will of Peter, who needed a warm water port and a fortress against the Swedes. Moreover, it was to be his window to Europe, a new capital where Peter's Western-inspired reforms of the military, bureaucracy and national culture would take hold. Right. Look at this fort. Is it? I can get my Kindle to actually get a signal. Right, look at that. Look at the stonework on that. How did you do it? How the fuck did you do it? Look at it. Unreal. Well, let me make it good up then. Hang on, it will. Look at that bridge, that building there. I know it's blurry, but just look at the skill and style and planning. Unreal. It's all geometry. They must have. Look at it. Look how it slopes to bear the weight going up. I think it's thicker stones at bottom, and they reduce the size as they go up, so it's lighter, so it holds it up. But it's just so perfect. The tolerance, like that's the margin of error, is very, very low on these, meaning that the skill is just impeccable. These rough stones may even have had a coating years ago. Oh. These are the tunnels underneath it if it ever loads. See if we can get anything else below first. Well, there's the fortress plan. Look at it, starfort. Did they just dig it out of mud and build the top of it? It seems so. I thought that was crazy, but look at the skill of that. Just brilliant. Look. The light is just... everything's thought out and covered. Look at that building. The carriages. Yeah. Sorry people. Wicked doesn't it there? Look at people. Where's the river? What are they doing there? Washing clothes. So that is that. That's the beach bit there. That must be their buildings, man. Look at the skill and style and finesse and opulence. It's just sacred geometry to the max. Will we ever know what? Look at that. Just I know it's a drawing, but these here fish traps, some sort. Wow, it's just impeccable, isn't it? There again. Oh, everyone just set up shop on the city gates. Nothing's changed, has it? Look, they were just the same as us. They had the brains like us. They like all this caveman shit. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Come from the apes. My ass. Look at that. We came from apes. Look at that building. And that. See, evolution's true. Why did their buildings last for life? Nowadays, what we build can be taken down easily. I'm not even going to say it, but it's September, innit? You just passed. You know what I mean? Is it the 11th? Look at that. There's not a line out of place. if you had a carriage or a horse, you were like, what's the status? It appears. Look at the cannons here. Towers, obviously. Always the towers, isn't there? Look at that row of cannons. Wow. So they went from farming and peasants in a marshland to that in a short space of time, a ridiculously short space of time. The time it takes to dig something out, I reckon. And stick shit on top. Look at it. It's just. Can you imagine whoever built something like that now? I know they do, but it's fake, innit? It's for like Disneyland shit. That's real. Look at that. That's like Eastern, innit? Russia's like a combination of Western and Eastern. And then they merged into their own style. Look at the architecture's just brilliant. Just sublime, innit? It's just, I don't know the words, it's just brilliant. Look, there's a map there, the star on the map showing you. Scaffolding. In China, they use bamboo for scaffolding today, it's still today. Bamboo's, I'm going to do a vlog on bamboo. It's an amazing thing, plant, grass, whatever it is. Look, digging it out. They're fucking digging it out. Look, carting barrelloads of shit away. Putting sand on the beach. Oh man. Look at that tower there. I just like for lifting stuff for a pile driver. For setting foundations in. And then I saw a map of starforts around the world and there's thousands. It's ridiculous. Look at that. Every piece is numbered, thought out, written down, built upon. When they say built on the shoulders of giants, it is like information what's been collected before. That's the only reason we're different than them, is because we've been at your, well, time's moved on, technology's improved. I think we're going dumber because we all rely on our phones too much. Elon Musk even said it. He said we're part cyborg now already, with phones in our hands. And another thing I seen, comparing it to Skinner's rats, like experiments. The red flag, seen the red flag, ding, and checking it and that. And we might deny it, but we are addicted to it. And he said we're part cyborg. Think about it, when you're driving a car or something, you just rely on the machine to tell you where you're going and what you're doing. You don't even look at maps anymore. I remember when I was a kid, we used to be going anywhere, it was the map out, and you'd have to plan your route, and I'd get a piece of paper and write down your route and have it on dashboard. If you're going somewhere you'd never been before, and you had to remember where things were and what, you know. But nowadays, you just, your phone or your sat nav, whatever you're using, whatever tech you've got in your hand, you can do it all. My friend said to me in the 80s, 1988 it was, I was working in a yarn dyeing factory. And a lad who worked there, a couple of years older than me, but extremely bright. He should have been in that factory. He's one of the cleverest people I've ever known. He used to like read 2 books a day, and there'd be heavy duty science fiction things, and he'd know everything. You could ask him anything about it. You could pick the book up, and he'd like his memory was just unreal. He shouldn't have been working in a factory anyway. That's a different story anyway. But yeah, he said to me in 1988, he says in the future, he says you just have a box and it'll be all your music, all films, talk to people, it'll just do everything. I'm like, what do you mean? It'll just be a box and it'll do everything. Well, aye, right. What is it get you able to talk to anyone in the world? It'll just tell you everything. It'll have every book in it, every record in it. Just a box. You'll just have a box and it'll all be there. And I thought he was nuts. Been reading too much science fiction. He stayed with me for a while because he split up with his missus and I had a 2-bedroom flat, so he let me stay in the other room. And the room, he had to make a path to get in because of the science fiction books. And it was higher than me. And the room was 3/4 books from floor to like head height. I'm not exaggerating. It's ridiculous, and he'd read every one. But yeah, he said that about a box, and I thought it was mad. Remember in 1988, there was no mobile phones, there was no internet. Well, there were, but only military and things like that had it. The top elites had it. But he knew it was coming. He saw it, read it, and just pieced it together. And then as technology moved on, I've always remembered, I went, he was fucking right. He was absolutely bang on. Well, did they build it? Look at that, look at the depths of the tunnel, look at the brilliance and the, oh, it's just unreal. Look at that. Sorry, people. Yeah, alright. Alright. Yeah, the tools they had. And the coins, they're saying about the coins, like you get some and you don't know who the hell they are, or what king it is. They're not the Tsar at the time, and they're better quality, and compared to the ones that were around at the time, the ones that were around at the time, like Scabby look, 1722, but the one's a bit iffy. Double-headed eagle. Double-headed eagle. Look at 1740, whatever. That's like the coinage you got. Like that. And then you'd find these now and then. Well, they're just totally different. Better quality, different, just weird. Like all the normal Russian ones were just worn away. They were different people, they had knowledge we don't have, they do have, but we don't build that anymore. We don't build for life. When you build a building now, the building, all it does is do the function of whatever you're carrying out in the building. It doesn't matter as long as it covers you and it's warm and just, it's all that metal sheet and shit. It's all iron, girders. It's just horrible, isn't it? And when they do corporate stuff, black smoked glass and black, it's horrible and sinister. But compared to that, look, why can't we? It's just beautiful. Oh man. Unreal, isn't that? That's the island. Look, they were just moss. Right. I hope I'm not boring you to death. I think it's interesting anyway. Whoever this person is has got a good point. And it starts building up. Look. All the buildings here. Not slow, but surely. 1, 2, 3. A few more. It's so precise how it's laid out. The precision is just unreal, and the scale of it. But look, what time frame was this? It was that till that's 1799. it's up and running. Full scale running, like, you know. 1840. Oh, Roman numeral 6, 7, 8, 4, 3, 2, oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There it says, I can't make it out, I think it says king, but look, 1793. Oh, there's numbers. 3, 3's up. Can't make those out. 2. And then 1793. That's later than that. 1738. So that's 60 years later. Oh, the island's built up. Number 2's built up. More or less here. There's number 23. 18. 17. Well, XV. What's that? 40. Don't know. 1890. So it didn't take them long, did it? That's all. Final image. Plan of St Petersburg with its fortifications, built by Peter the Great in 1703. Harbour of Crowslot, the River Neva Canal, made from the said river to the Aurea, Walshunvor. Nah, I don't know, I'm sorry people. Finland. It's part of Finland. Ingermanland. Fascinating. St Petersburg. Oh, way out. The precision, that's remarkable. Remarkable precision. There about the coins. Here is where we run into two distinctive quality levels. This could possibly be attributed to the Tartarian heritage, but there is enough speculation for one thread. I will just say that this is not the time damage related issue. According to my Russian acquaintances, this is an ongoing topic of discussion in Russia. Apparently some of the coins, same time frame, do not match the king's czars and have unexplainable units of currency and greatly differing quality. So what's going on? Engravings. I think we've seen them, haven't we, shall we, or? We've seen them, haven't we? Bizarre things were happening in 1703. Look at this map. That's 1849. It's all there. this? You remember all the cannons? What's going on there? Petersburg Fort, right in the heart. Starfort. Total military. There's the boy. Peter the Great. Give him a shovel, he'll fucking dig anywhere out. Man's great. I don't know. What have I done? Oh no. What have I done? Yeah, stolenhistory.org. Really good. Really good. What have I done? Go away, Peter. Go away, Paul. Okay, I've been stewing on this all evening. Building a city of this size and grandeur in 13 years and losing thousands of guys is not likely. I do like the idea of them digging it out. They knew it was there and just unearthed it. Hard labour like digging could easily kill that many men. I don't see long hours bricklaying being fatal for even slaves. Looking at this, directly to the right of the city could be a dump. Not being a map guy, I might just be trying to find my guess in the evidence instead of the evidence showing me the truth. Fair comment. Very bizarre, those pictures look very post-apocalyptic and also make sense that they just digged it out from the ground. Pictures you find from 1820 are the part of two graphic albums painted by Auguste de Montferrand. Official history calls him the architector of the Alexander Column and the St. Isaac's Cathedral, or Izlakivaksly Sobor. Sorry, I've just mangled that. Anyone who's offended by that, I apologise. But there are a lot of things that prove he's not. Good research you can find here. It's a Russian site, but it's in Russian, but I still believe you'll have access to Google Translate, see ya. So that's a good link, maybe. I tried looking into farmland around the city based on bones being ground and used for fertiliser in New Zealand. Eden Mill in the Auckland suburb of Wonhunga, after it was abandoned, it was first built by William Mason in 1843 for grinding grain when a more efficient water-powered mill was created. This windmill passed into the ownership of others, including Mr. Robert Robertson in the 1860s. For over a decade under his ownership, it was used to grind up the skeletal remains of countless generations of Praeterita into fertiliser. Many tens of thousands of skeletons were removed from the Auckland burial caves for this purpose and sold to the mill. Most of the time they had no concerns about the fate of these Tangawena bones and openly stated to the authorities do as you wish with these bones, for these are not our people. Caches of these skeletons still remain around the city or on the outlying islands. In a world where proper scientific investigation was remotely possible, the skeletons of the ancient New Zealanders could be studied to determine their physical anthropology and ethnic origins. But not speaking Russian, all I get is tourist visitors and farm for sale listings. Asking a local about farm gossip would be helpful. Something tells me those skeletal remains could have belonged to some other ethnic group. This could go on for the air, could blah blah blah. Well, 36 apes build megaliths in minus 16 degrees, holding lanterns in their mouths. The entire fake history topic is pretty excited. It's unreal, isn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I just oh sorry, before I go, no, sorry people, right, this thing is just unreal. Zheng Hung user she probably Zhang Hang, Chinese, formerly Romanized as Cheng Heng, was a Han Chinese polymath from Nanyang who lived during the Han Dynasty. Educated in the capital cities of Liaoyang and Chang'an, he achieved success as an astronomer, mathematician, scientist, engineer, inventor, geographer, cartographer, artist, poet, statesman, and literary scholar. This is a busy boy, eh? Right, there's all the stuff about him. But it's what he invented, what blew me away. Yeah, he shows it. Right. Yeah, the guy was just unbelievable. Clock tower. 10, 20, 11, 1, wow. Jeez, oh, eh? All mechanical. These springs. Clockwork. On top. There's a need for that. Yeah, so he invented all sorts, but this, it's a replica of Zhang Heng's seismoscope. It tells you when an earthquake's going to happen, and where, how far away, what direction. It was Japanese seismologist Akisun Imamura who reconstructed Zhang Heng's seismoscope in 1939 while working at Tokyo University. But Zhang applied his extensive knowledge of mechanics and gears in several of his inventions. He invented the world's first water-powered armillary sphere to assist astronomical observation, improved the inflow water clock by adding another tank, and invented the world's first seismoscope, which discerned the cardinal direction of an earthquake 500 kilometers, 310 miles away. He improved previous Chinese calculations for pi, in addition to documenting about 2,500 stars in his extensive star catalogue. Zhang also posited theories about the moon and its relationship to the sun. Specifically, he discussed the moon's sphericity, its illumination by reflected sunlight on one side and the hidden nature of the other, and the nature of solar and lunar eclipses. His Fu, or Rhapsody, and Shi poetry were renowned in his time and studied and analysed by later Chinese writers. Zhang received many posthumous honours for his scholarship and ingenuity. Some modern scholars have compared his work in astronomy to that of Greco-Roman Ptolemy. But that earthquake machine, I had a book when I was a kid. I got his book for Christmas, like weird things, like 50 man inventions or something. And that was in it. The clock, the seismoscope. Find a link to the seismoscope. Yeah. He drops a ball from the dragons into the frog's mouths. It's bizarre. The Leonardo da Vinci of ancient China was Zhang Heng, 79 to 139 AD, an inventor, astronomer, engineer, scientist, scholar and artist. His most intriguing design, created almost 200 years ago, was the decision that the first earthquake sensing device invented, this ancient art science sculptural instrument named Haofeng de Dong Yi, could remotely detect earthquakes hundreds of kilometres away. Known as a seismoscope, this inertia sensing instrument was the very beginning for the sciences in the field of seismology. Zhang Heng believed that earthquakes were caused by wind and air. The chief cause of earthquake is air, an element naturally swift and shifting from place to place, as long as it is not stirred, but lurks in a vacant space. It reposes innocently, giving no trouble to objects around it, but any cause of concern coming upon it from without rouses it or compresses it, and drives it into a narrow space, and when opportunity of escape is cut off, then, with deep murmur of the mountain, it roars around the barriers, which, after long battering, it dislodges and tosses on high, growing more fierce the stronger the obstacle with which it is contended. To indicate the direction of a distant earthquake, Zhang's device dropped a metal bronze ball from one of 8 tube projections shaped as dragon heads. The ball fell into the mouth of a corresponding metal object shaped as a toad, each representing direction which the seismoscope wave was travelling. His device had 8 mobile arms, 8 directions connected with cranks having catch mechanisms at the periphery. When tipped, a crank and right angle lever would raise the dragon head and release a ball supported by the lower jaw of the dragon head. The seismoscope device also included a vertical pin passing through a slot in the crank, a catch device, a pivot on the projection, a sling suspending the pendulum, an attachment for the sling, and a horizontal bar supporting the pendulum. Right, so it's just an amazing thing. Just amazing. Right. So you can look for yourself. I'm not going to show all this, but
This golden seismograph, conserved at the National Museum of China, resembles in appearance a beer barrel.
beautiful, isn't it?
Walls we find perched 8 dragons evenly distributed, their heads looking down
How
while their
odd, eh?
jaws stand slightly open. Within each of their jaws lies a small bronze ball. Crouching
How
a little more
ingenious.
onto the
Just
dragons
why
is
that?
their
Why?
toes on all fours on the ground, with their heads raised and
It's a
open
machine
mouths.
like today. We just build a box, don't we, and cram it all in. But that's just beautiful.
Scientist of the Eastern Han Dynasty. It so turns out that the barrel-like seismograph at the National Museum was a replica of Zheng Heng's original seismograph, produced in 1951 by the National Museum of China's foremost restorer, Wangjiangdu. However, due to the scarcity of the national records upon which his reconstruction
So someone back engineered it as usual and copied it.
would not work as a reliable predictor of earthquakes. As we open up the seismograph, we immediately find that its internal structure is composed of 2 main parts. At the center of the seismograph lies a copper column, surrounded by 8 levers in all directions. These connect with the dragons perched upon the outer walls of the device. When the earthquake occurs, inertia will make the central copper column incline itself towards a given lever, which will activate the mechanism in the outer wall's corresponding dragon. It will in turn release the ball in its mouth and thus report the direction of the earthquake. However, in reality, the movement of the seismograph's bronze column could be very random. Furthermore, man-made tremors and natural tremors could not be differentiated. This all made this particular reconstruction of the ancient seismograph an inaccurate instrument.
Aye. You guys are genius. You can't copy it. Need the real deal.
In 2002, a small research team composed of seismologists and archaeologists was created to investigate how best to reconstruct the famed seismograph of Zhonghang, which had gained fame during the Eastern Han Dynasty. The first thing that needed solving was the interior mechanism of the seismograph to make it successfully point out where earthquakes can happen. Earthquakes are caused by the movement.
So,
Activating the mechanism that accurately identified the direction of the earthquake. Thus, the internal mechanism of the ancient seismograph had finally been successfully reproduced. In the passage on Zhonghang's biography in the Book of Eastern Han, we find the seismograph described.
right, that's that. I'm gonna leave it because I think it's long enough. Right, goodbye from Rudy and the dogs. See you later.